just don't get
All right,
sick.
so we
Just
are-
keep coming, just keep coming, David.
We're depending on you.
We depend on you.
We're ready to go.
We're live, sir.
All right. Meeting called to order at 5:31 PM. Members present, everybody. David Jeff, David Worley, Tammy Warning, John and Allison. First item, approval of the minutes.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. We have no visitors or petitioners, so moving on to old business.
Well, just to give you all an update on Mr. Grayson,
Mhm.
he did get it approved by the council and the mayor signed. So that project will be moving forward for his Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We sat down, we had, after the meeting we didn't have, we spent some time going over some things and getting the information we needed to make sure that whatever we did was met the safety qualifications and standards that we're held to. And we got that information to him so he could proceed forward, and I think it's gonna be a nice addition.
Did you decide where it's going?
Yes, we did.
And it will be something similar to this. It will drain water.
Very, very
correct?
similar to that, or it'll be actually elevated so that we can blow out from underneath it.
Oh, smart.
So that's the other thing, and it'll be on concrete with either tiles or pour in place on top of that,
And where,
rubber.
where?
It'll be up between the Civic Center and between the pavilion behind the Civic Center and the playground,
Nice.
right in there.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah. Perfect little spot.
plenty of room and it's right in the right spot.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And as that's going on, if you want to go ahead with project updates, the bathroom, the construction company is done. We are finishing by going back in there and epoxying the floors,
Okay.
protect the concrete from stuff. So we've already epoxied the other ones. We're epoxying these and they should be done this week. So we should be able to go online. We can open the doors for activity, or however you want to word it. Next week, we're hoping. It's open for it'll be open for business. Very good, Jim. Thank you. So-
I just said much better.
No grand,
So.
no grand opening, ribbon cutting or anything like that.
No. No, so. Let's just flush that whole thing. Now, the pickleball the contract has been let, notice of award is made. Smith Contracting will be doing the project. So.
So when do they start?
It just depends on when they can get in there, honestly. The weather is the big thing, Mother Nature, and they've been able to they've got to haul in dirt. Because it's going, of course, north of the existing pickleball courts, and in doing so, it drops. I mean, we built it up, but it still drops, so we've got to build it up some more. To the point of about 4 feet on that north end.
Oh, wow.
That much has got to. So anyway, but the project did come in under budget.
Yay.
Another plus this year. That was the second project that came in under budget out there. The bathrooms actually came in, not a lot, but they did come in under budget.
That didn't happen often.
No,
No, it doesn't.
we haven't heard that.
It came in about 40,000 under. So
That's good.
that's all right. Yeah, the bathrooms did, yeah. You don't have to put that necessarily in the minutes unless we've got that on our other book, so it's totally up to you. We still have money left in land improvements for Old Park and Doctor's Park for some paving work or some road work. And it looks like we possibly will be able to do some of that. If nothing else, I'd like to be able to do removal of the existing blacktop at Doctor's Park and regrade that whole area. Take it down, grade it so it'll drain, So that when we do go back in with asphalt, it's not rolling it back into the building, the water back into the buildings. Right now, it's a mess. So we're looking at doing that to bring it down and actually get our drainage right when we do.
So you're talking about over by field 3 and 4.
Right there by the concession stand, that whole area inside that.
Makes sense.
And then of course, Old Park. It's needing some work. It's the only place that went underwater
Mhm.
this during the flash flood. The detention basin. For the third or fourth time since its construction has saved 2 portions of our community from being inundated with floodwaters. So it has done, it has managed to take care of itself and do what it was designed to do on 4 occasions at least.
The one over here by the time.
One on Cedar and Second and Sixth, that area right there, yeah. That detention basin has held enough water to prevent the apartments and then over behind Sprout, all those homes from being inundated with floodwaters.
Yeah, I went down there and looked at it when it was raining so hard
I was
to
gonna say.
see how it
I
was
wanted to
doing.
See what it looked like, cause I mean, when it flooded,
I
the
like-
properties before, yeah, I mean,
But in 36 hours, it's gone.
He's gone.
I believe it releases it on a 25-year flow. What it does is it'll hold that water up to a 100-year event,
Buy some time.
and then it will release it on a the normal 25-year flood.
So to pass it on down.
Which is what most road drainage is designed to do.
Kudos to
So,
civil
that's great.
engineering.
Huh?
I said kudos to civil engineering.
Awesome.
Do the
Yep.
people at the apartments
We've
realize
been
it?
working on it. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Good.
We have been working on that since I got here. Richard Nash worked on it. I've worked on it. Lynn finally got to the point where he could actually acquire the property, and when he did, we went full bore, thank God.
Yeah.
And it has been a blessing
Mhm.
for this community, not just
Absolutely.
one segment of the community, but for several segments of the community. Especially along that flow line.
Yeah, on my way home, it's like, I gotta go see if it worked.
It
It's
probably
like,
helps.
wow.
It
It worked.
Pretty full.
Oh, yeah, the road has not been underwater since, yeah,
Mhm. And we had a lot of rain.
yeah. Yeah, we did. It was full. It was almost to the max, like a foot or so from being at the max. So that tells you what it can do. That's a 6 foot, an average of 6 feet depth, 7 acres. So that's what it's holding.
Speaking of math, what's the total volume of that?
I really, I used to could tell you.
That would be pretty
Because I knew I had to do
good.
I was doing sales pitch on that project.
Well, I don't remember doing acres and, volume and acres, using acres as a measurement, so.
You said it was 6 acres?
7.
7.
So,
Yeah, I can figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah, we don't have to think, we just ask.
oh, good news. We have been, it looks like awarded the one, we applied for the Land and Water Conservation Fund to extend the multi-use trail along the east and then north side and go all the way down to Railroad Avenue. We have passed the first phase of the Land and Water Conservation Fund with a 100 on our score. So that's moving forward. Hopefully we'll get that. But we also applied for a grant. It's called a grant, GRANT grant. And that's an acronym for something, I don't know. But anyway, it's a grant designed to assist with other grants. And it literally will pay for almost 50%. The Land and Water Conservation Fund was 127,000. This grant was 122,000. So that means the city will pay about 5,000 if we get both of them for this trail.
Wow.
Wow.
So yes.
Nice job.
We feel like we're in good shape with this, but we'll just have to wait and see. But we do have 122,000 through the one grant. And we've got 125,000 budgeted if we need it and don't get the Land and Water Conservation Fund. So
Any word from the state on the roundabout?
it's still in the works. As far as when, no,
Mhm.
I don't have anything on that.
Okay.
I wish I could tell you I did, but I don't. What else we got here? Of course, pickleball, we know. Walking trail improvements. Civic Center generator, is due in, supposed to have been in January, but it was pushed back till March. So we're looking at probably delivery sometime this month, we're hoping. And then hopefully they'll go ahead and we'll be able to get them on track to get it installed quickly. So, and that means we'll have, other than the fire training center, we'll have a generator at all of our facilities, parks, streets. Well, parks will have one at the Civic Center. Streets has got one over at their main building. Utilities has got one at their main building at the water plant and at the sewer plant. We've got one here that take care of this entire building and then some. When we sized this, when we sized it to cover everything in this building, plus if somebody else pulled up and needed power that was working with us because of a whatever emergency, they would be enough power to take care of them too. So all of them are 50 with the exception of this one, it's an 80. So and we're looking at down the road probably getting another 50 kilowatt and mounting a front fuel tank on a trailer so that we can actually, if we have to relocate, if we have to leave here, worst case scenario, we have to leave here and go outside the city limits somewhere, then we'll have a power source we can take with us. So, we've been in too many natural disasters not to be ready for the next one. And so that's some of the things that we're working towards as well, so. But as far as that, that's where we stand, parks projects. I don't know, but that takes care of our updates unless you guys have questions about anything else.
I don't really see it on the list. Didn't we talk about benches and things like that for Old Park for the ball
No,
field?
we've talked to about benches for the detention basin.
I'm not talking about inside the dugouts. I think we talked about that.
Well, if we have it on it. We've never fenced it. That's something else we need to consider.
Because I just noticed that, when people go there to practice, they don't have anywhere to put anything. Nice to have a bench. You put your phone there, put your your stuff on there.
Right.
Sometimes different shoes, but a bat holder would be nice. Put their bats. Just little things.
Okay.
Probably won't cost a lot of money.
Well, biggest thing right now is we're running tight on all of our departments are running tight. Mostly because we've had a considerable maintenance issues that have come up. And so while we're doing pretty good in our CIP, which is our capital improvement projects, we're a little bit snug on our regular maintenance and materials and stuff like that. So if we have the ability at this year, fine. If not, then we would just have to look at it next year.
Okay.
We worked with Ms. Muscovali on the Marshall County Soccer Spring Sports League agreement today. So they're actually starting their spring training today, and it's only going to go through mid-May. That's as far as it's going to go. And I asked about the fall. She said that they'll just come back and reply for another one at that point. I said, okay, however you want to do that. So,
Do we have anything to sign for that?
no. But here's one of the things that they've done is they've changed now that all agreements between an entity and the city have got to go through the mayor's office, so.
Okay.
So instead of you having to sign it or something like that, it goes straight to the mayor's office, so. That was. A change, just recent change, so. I was trying to look at some of the things for upcoming stuff, Of course, like I said, still got some paving. Brad's wanting to move, we got a couple $100,000 toward that purpose this year to try to work on those. This is what we're looking at. I've got a meeting with Brandstetter. What was it? Brandstetter and something. So do I. Brandstetter, something, they're out of Lexington. And I met them at the city managers conference this past. I've heard of Brandstetter Carroll. I've heard of them before, but I've never known anything down in this area. And so they had talked to them. I said, we got some projects going on in public and here, and we got some other, and so they said, well, can we talk to you about future stuff? I said, sure. So I've got a meeting with them next week. They're going to have a couple come down. We're going to look at, one of the areas I'm going to look at is the south field of Memorial Park. See if they've got any ideas about that. The other thing is working toward an all-inclusive setup in our existing playground up here behind the Civic Center. We've got that. We need, it's perfect to actually, I've got a minimum design and I want to work with Miracle, who had given us some more insights on something else we could add. Let's see about working on making that facility as a whole an all-inclusive facility. Right now, we call it ADA, but honestly, they don't have a path really to get down. So it's one of those deals where, yes, it is once you get there. Getting there, we haven't taken care of, and so it's something we're going to have to assess and take care of. But I'm hoping to get some ideas for design to lay that out, because all the crumb rubber works fine, but it needs to be pour in place rubber is what it needs to be. That way it can cover with it, and we can still put in an in-ground merry-go-round that'll actually fit a wheelchair. They have these, and you can actually place them in these. So there's some things that we can do, and that was it's the way it's set up would not be hard to make that transition. So.
That's awesome.
So that's one of the things that I was wanting to look at there. But, we also, and you weren't here for the presentation by Gary Hudson.
Right, what was the, sorry.
That is actually a fitness
No, what is that mean?
setup.
Like you go, like stations?
It's all kinds of stations right
Yeah.
there on a concrete pad, and then the stations that are on the wall, nothing is movable. It's all set.
Yeah.
But you can change your angle to do different things.
With your body weight. I've
Uh-huh,
seen,
and
we
then
talked about that
the-
before.
on
haven't
the-
we?
And on the face side of that
Yeah.
is a mural.
Oh, cool.
So the mural that we were wanting to put in the park can be incorporated right there
Yeah.
on that. And then there's also where you can actually come back later and add or put it on right there at the beginning, another, what was it, 48 by 60, 48, something like that, 48 by 48. Something like that.
Something like that.
But anyway.
Yeah, I was,
You can add another studio. You've got
I think it's 40 by
your
40.
gym on one side, and then you got a studio on the other side. And the studio is for Pilates,
Yeah.
yoga, stuff like that.
Awesome. That'd be cool.
Room,
So it's not around the park, it's one spot.
It's one spot, yeah.
Okay.
And it's one spot, it'd be up front between the U10 field and the multi-use trail over there.
On the convalescent center side?
No, over here at Memorial Park.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's something that can be seen easily by the public traveling,
Yeah,
it opens that up, brightens it up. Doing something like that with the boulders maybe, or whatever, might be an idea down in the south end.
Yeah.
It's not a real good smooth one, but we might consider doing some things down there, rock climbing
mhm.
or, what about a pond? Oh, mercy.
Well, then he's not here to back me, so I won't even.
Councilman Brown told me the other day, said they were talking about, can we get a pond? I said, well, we got several of them. And of course, the storms hit, and I get a text from him, I guess, right late day and he'd gone over to the detention base and said, man, that was quick. I said, yes,
Yeah,
but I'm afraid it
good.
won't last.
Oh, I'm good.
But, no, I just, Brad and I both worry about we have a lot of fear of utilizing that pit that they built and dug all that stuff out of over there in the public works area, because that pit is a sheer drop off
Yeah.
on two sides. And it's just one of these things where
Something bad could happen.
I'm worried, that's one of those places. It looks nice,
Yeah.
but sure as a
Somebody
world,
slips in
somebody's
there.
kid will fall off in there, and then we've got
Yeah.
a disaster just right, and it just terrifies me to even think about it. So that's one of the reasons I've been leery about that. But we do have a pond. They said, what about one for fishing? I said, we can stock the one down there at the cemetery if they wanted us to do that.
Mhm.
How deep is that pond?
Brad said it was 9 feet, maybe. Oh, I can't remember exactly. Do you remember by chance? Okay. He said something once before. I thought it was deeper than that.
But
I could have sworn that one piece of equipment he was in, absolutely, the cab disappeared. I kept thinking it's way deeper than what he was saying, but he says, oh, no, it's not that. I'm going, okay. All right.
Won't we lose our fish on the overflow every time it comes a heavy rain?
No, not every time. I'm sure you'll lose some, but Lord, they just keep
Come
coming.
in from the birds and they make more.
Yeah. Well, where do you want to put a fishing pond? We've got a lake, we've got a strike, we have a lake,
A river.
we have a river, and now we want a pond.
We don't need a pond. Unless we use that one.
If there was some way, block it off and require you to fish from a certain area, maybe that might work.
Can you make it less? I mean, can you make it bigger and make it more like a gradual?
Short of
I mean, would
going
that be
back
like-
and filling stuff in there, I don't know what else we could do, because it's that steep on that one side and that deep.
Mhm.
And if we try to knock that off, then we're going back toward that drainage besides the railroad track,
Okay.
because it's almost like a levee size, and that's the big issue.
Mhm. Not an easy fix.
No, it's not. I wish I could say it is. Now, it's not, if you're coming from the east, or if you're coming from the south, it's not that big of a deal. It does slope.
Mhm.
Whereas if you come on from the other side, we almost have to put something up that you have to fish over or walk over beside, protect you from falling in.
What if you had a fence on that side?
We would have to have,
Or like a boardwalk.
you would have to have some sort of a fence or something that would protect and keep the children out.
Like a
I mean-
decorative iron fence like we have down there? With the splash pad.
I know what you're saying. I don't know. I mean, I guess anything is possible. I'm not,
Be a nice walking trail.
Mhm.
well,
Around.
the issue is we're gonna have to do something that protects people from themselves, unfortunately.
Mhm.
If it wasn't for that,
Put a fence up on the
well,
one
you
side.
have to protect the children from
Put
that.
signs up too.
Yeah. The signs are, I found signs to be about as useless as.
They're
it comes.
useless, but it does protect us though.
And it's almost like you said, do not do this, and what are they gonna do?
You thought about it.
That's
yeah.
exactly what I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
you
now,
thought about
because
it.
I just gave, you just gave me the idea.
Anything I can think of is expensive. I mean, if you did do it, you know, I think of like, we've all, I guess, several has been around Disney, you know, where you go back in there with the boats and where you got.
Gators ate the kid and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, you got a boardwalk.
Yeah.
And then and a wood fence on this side that's not possible really.
An expensive project just
It
for,
would be very expensive, but it would look nice. I don't know where that location is, how much use
Mhm.
you'd get from it. But that those two sides, you know, you boardwalked them with a wood fence on the inside, you know, lakeside, all, you know.
How
Our neighbor
big
has
is the
Be pretty
pond? Would
nice.
it
I
be
mean-
worth it? I mean, is it big enough that it's like, oh, you know, like it would be a
It's a good
Like, it
sized
would-
pond.
place you want to go? You know, because if so,
I mean,
I mean,
you have
that's a-
that and gazebo, so area, and then you could even have like the little fishing feeder, you know, 25 cents. So, yeah. It's very expensive, but it
I
would
know,
look
and we have, the
amazing.
la- and
if
we
you-
have the lake.
You would have to do that. But in addition to
We do have
looking
massive
good,
lake.
I don't like the idea of. Any kind of metal
Change
fencing,
everything up so that it can be included.
just from a
Yeah.
protection standpoint, it'll
That's
look
what
like
I
a
think about.
penitentiary pond, you know, I just. If you're gonna access that. And again, it goes back to maybe getting some. Funding, donations. I don't know, like,
You know, if you could set that up where there was some adult supervision for like tournaments or something like that, little fishing tournaments for rodeos for children
yeah,
or something like that. No,
but it would be to do it right, to be safe. And look to our standard that we're creating
Mhm.
it would be expensive. It would be a major buy-in from the,
And then.
okay,
wood
now
would-
we're sitting on top of a water feature, okay? You know what hangs out at water features?
Yeah.
Some have legs, some don't.
yeah.
So is that a problem or is that just something you live with?
Well, I mean, that
That's
would be
something
at any of our water,
Mhm.
maybe
Agreed.
maybe less likely, you know, when you have the riprap to boardwalk area, I'd say that would be safer than just wooded area down to, you know,
Granted,
but
it's gonna have to be kept by mowing of some sort somehow.
I just think we're kind of far off on the idea that doing something in that area, if done, do it really, really well.
but it's so far back, it's not even really visible.
Yeah,
That's the big thing. It's
True.
not visible.
True.
So
Hardly
is there some, I mean,
anybody.
when you're thinking about this, because this is our, next month, we gotta get serious about the budget. Okay? This is ending the 9 months. This month ends the 9 months. And so at this point, I'll know where we're at. And next month, we're gonna have the serious sit down and go through our list, compile our list. And we've got some stuff started, thank goodness. It gives us some help here. You know, we talk about,
Yeah, it's on the list, yeah, there, but
we got Doctor's Park, we got
Bonding.
pickleball. We talk about stands and shades, accessories for them.
those are important.
Those are things that need to be looked at. I mean, and priorities, again, we're gonna get back into that. LED lighting for fields 1 and 2. We've got the pole, we've got the lights for fields 1 and 2, but they're that halogen or the. Not halogen, what's the word I'm looking for? But anyway, it's not the LED like we have, but we need to look at maybe switching those over to LED.
baseball fields.
The unisex restroom, I still want to see if we can put a unisex restroom down here and then one at the tennis court. No. I don't want to spend a couple $100,000 again, but I don't want to do that. Soccer field lighting, do we want to light fields 12 and 14 down here? This looks like it's going to be an ongoing thing, and if it is, then maybe it's time we need to up the ante for them. You know.
I have people asking me that, which I think I'm the one that brought that, but yeah.
So what
Christmas-
what about paving, the parking area for our new pavilion? It's gravel right now.
I don't know if there's enough money to do it in the roads too right now.
I always put it in there for next year. That way it can be voted down. Or our brand new pavilion in
You
Old
know, they're
Park.
not, they're not gonna vote anything down. I've
Um,
never seen them say no to anything.
We're
So
spoiled.
so it's up to you guys to be serious about what you want.
We have to be fiscally responsible.
You need to be fiscally responsible. Yes.
There goes the bridge, there goes, the
I never
green,
got my bridge, man.
the green monster, all that's gone.
The green monster,
below that.
yeah, green monster was
That'd been
good.
awesome.
That would be,
Again,
that would be
Christmas
nice.
display.
Do we need to?
We've
put
got to,
fitness-
we've got to
Yeah, the
address
mural on
the
the backside
Christmas
of it.
display.
Do we need to put the fitness thing on here, or was that some, like, is that
The
something?
what?
The fitness platform?
It's on here.
Where is it?
Oh, well, we got it kind of included the other stuff over here.
Oh, the murals.
The mural, rock climbing or the
Oh, the rock
fitness,
climbing, God.
the fitness. I mean, we can
The
put
only
that
thing
in
I know
there.
about everything I've seen about rock climbing requires belay.
So you got Old Park
No
ball
one-
field and
Well,
parking lot on
I'd
there
have
for
to-
Old Park. It's already up here. But the Christmas displays, we've talked about it. It's time to get serious, folks. We need to make a design. We need to come up with something that's way different than everybody else has got, because if all we're gonna do is go back and do the same thing that they're doing at Noble Park or at Miller Park, we've got that already.
Christmas
Since
Town
playing,
USA,
wasting
let's
your
go.
time.
I'm all
But this
in
is
on
time to up the ante and do something bright.
Like a drone show.
No, I'm talking about doing something that's gonna stand out like a Hallmark movie.
That's right.
That's
Those
exactly
drone
what
shows
I'm
are pretty
talking
cool.
about.
I'm telling you, somebody's
Christmas
gonna,
City, Kentucky.
somebody's gonna, yeah, Christmas Town, US, Christmas City.
They're the only ones that know how to do Christmas and Christmas right.
Somebody's
I'm saying.
gonna do it.
Everybody else does it and does it like, okay,
And
Snoopy here, a cow
yeah,
here,
exactly.
do something that
And
that flows.
Happy's is getting dated. They're not gonna continue to like upgrade and stuff there, but we've got a pretty.
Are there some?
Somebody,
websites we
one
can look
community is gonna figure
Oh,
that
yeah.
out and
Display sales is one of them. That's
the,
who we,
the
that's where we got the tree.
inflatables, the little, the lights that run on and those are super neat. I appreciate them putting them out every time, like the Mike Miller stuff. But the more
I just think, I think
artistic,
last year was
Neat.
so good, just the feel was so good, like if you just had a couple of arches, like Patty's has those big lit arches. Even if you had some of those down there across like near the amphitheater,
You
you know.
need to have the trail. You need to use the trail.
Yeah,
as
that's what
your
I'm saying,
base.
across the trail.
If you use
That's
the
right.
trail as your
You
base,
walk through it and
you've got that space,
And then
that
it's-
entire space over there to incorporate.
just do a little bit every year. I mean, I just think it's so good that anything we add to it is
Well,
just gonna,
as long as you have, you gotta be really, really strategic in how you start, cause it's kind of like, if you start Christmas Village at your house, that's cool and all, but you got the Dickens Christmas Village stuff. The main thing is you get something classy like that and you add to it. It's the same
Mhm.
thing every year. You don't want to, so the initial decision, how
has to be like, it's a theme, like we're going,
Something that you
gotta
can-
keep with it.
that you can create and add to that's gonna be the same.
Like the Dickens Christmas is really neat in Benton, like what they did, I haven't been in years, but that was really an experience.
See, that we talked, when
I mean, not
first
that we
brought
can
this
do,
up,
we can't do that, but just something along the lines of,
but you could, I wouldn't discount that. If you had some sort of walking trail,
I loved that we did jazz this
you
year.
could
Did
definitely,
y'all, were y'all there for the jazz?
see, that's a neat. you
They
could have
did- they did a
New
jazz
Orleans
band.
Jazz Christmas section.
Oh, you're talking
that
about
people
for the-
walking around and-
Yeah,
For the
they-
lighting,
They
yes.
did like a jazz,
The
or
classical
like,
type
a-
music.
yeah, and it just felt, I don't know, it was nice.
Our
Yeah,
thing
totally.
on this is to get a committee and get the right.
With the
people.
snow blow machine and,
Yeah, it was so, I was like, I'm in a Hallmark movie. I couldn't get over it.
yeah, that was nice.
It was so, it's already so good.
The balloon glow.
I think we just keep adding.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh, the
about the balloon
balloons.
glow. I don't know about that, if it'll continue back or not. Blair was just,
Well,
she was
Distraught.
destroyed by the end of the time.
they couldn't get them all up at the same time.
Yeah, it was a mess. Of course,
Well,
she said she didn't realize that it was so, I mean, everything has to be just right. And I said, no, that's exactly right. When it comes to that, there's a lot of things, hang glides that way. Anything that is powered by wind as opposed to being powered by a motor is very susceptible to Mother Nature's ability to help.
And we talked about if done well enough, the volunteer pool that you would have to have, whether it's Dickens or jazz or some of those things, because jazz could be incorporated by the, this weekend, it's the Graves County Jazz Band, or you might pull in Paducah Adult Group. I mean, different things, but if it's done well enough,
Let's get
it's
the
less,
design,
it's
let's get
less,
the lights first.
it's
Let's throw the
less,
programming in after
it's
that.
less begging people to come in, more as a privilege to get to do or perform, in your section, if it's done well enough.
Mhm. It's so good. I'm so proud of what they've done. And it was, I thought the balloons were awesome. As like someone that's just there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know, I mean, I know it was crazy because you had to cancel or they had to cancel and all the things, but just seeing them was just really
Yeah.
amazing.
The
And being
balloon
lit, I
glow
was
is a beautiful sight, isn't it?
yeah, it was
It really
really, it
is.
was really special. So they did a great job.
Yeah, they just
I think we need to look at those websites and kind of update our lights.
struggled to get it all
I think
going at the same time.
take a look at the light design and come up with something that you guys, like I said, make sure you're not doing the same thing as everybody else.
That's right.
Mhm.
Get away from that and get into something that's totally different.
For sure.
Make the whole park, make the walking trail the basis of what you're decorating and make everything something you're going through. And make it, I don't care if it's all the same color light. If you're doing the warm candlelight look
Mhm.
and you've got enough of it, that just blows your mind. I mean, that's a
Right.
blow your mind right there.
How can we decorate the trees that we have down there without being labor intensive?
It's a jail.
Not unless you hire someone to do it.
Yeah, it's a
No,
jail.
no, not to them, not them, no. We don't, I'm not, they'll never come back.
What's that?
Did you say jail?
JLG.
JLG. I don't know what the jail part. Yeah, let's not bring them back.
No, I don't want them back.
I'm good with that.
Nothing
Orange is a
nothing
terrible
personal.
color at Christmas.
No.
Just too much.
No, I said, yeah, scissor lift JLG job to get the lights.
Man
and the
basket,
tra-
something
Yeah,
there too.
You'll actually have to get, I mean, you're gonna have, it's gonna be labor intensive. And the more we put in there, the more it's gonna be, we have to have. Now,
You put them at
Do
the
we,
facing
okay,
around,
so
too.
like, there's stuff everywhere right now. If we just focused on like one side or something like, they're having to put stuff everywhere, but and it was more concentrated, so you're walking through.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where so we don't just put a ton of work on our
put a loop around the
workers.
splash pad area.
Right.
And then that's around the amphitheater, all the activities.
And honestly, it's cold, so people probably might not want to go all the way around the park to see everything. They might do a
True.
loop right there, because that's like doable maybe.
Yeah, I was just thinking of more of the projection of a
Yeah.
projector. Projecting images into the trees just to add color and.
That's what I was
there's
wondering.
all sorts of neat technology that we need to get some people just researching. And like I said,
Those wash out.
The-
It does, and especially when the leaves are gone, there's nothing for it
But
to
if it
hold.
was evergreen?
It won't reflect it back like the sheet will.
Like an evergreen though, what if you did just your,
Well, even with that, it still washes it out. It's not
Yeah.
real vivid. That's a problem with those. I've seen them, if they use them on a wall, they work fairly well. But if you're trying to go into something that's not a smooth, light background,
Mhm.
they wash out.
because I was thinking that too,
It'd just be nice to do something that's not really labor intensive,
but just adds.
putting a bunch of lights up that you're gonna have to take down.
Mhm.
Well.
Well, I mean,
Done the
that's
right
gonna
way.
have to happen.
A lot of them, I mean. I don't think a lot of the places that do lighting like that, they don't, a lot of places, they don't come down.
Yeah.
Done.
well, that or you set them up in frameworks that actually come down instead of coming down in strands, they come down in framework.
Yeah.
You know, you can fold the framework up, stuff like that. So you're not having to wire everything or run light strands all over everything. It's just something to look at. I mean, we may not change a thing other than just keep adding to it, but just take a look at it
Mhm.
and see.
So our ideas were like concentrate everything more. And maybe a little more, less Snoopy or whatever, and more just classy.
Focus to the trail, mostly just focus.
Yeah.
I
focus
mean,
on the trail.
I think that we've done a great job of making a classy area down there.
Mhm, right.
You know, build on that.
Yeah, I think in a few years, we could have a great Christmas light fight people here. I'm not gonna.
A lot of my friends come to Calvert. They won't, like that didn't used to come. They're like, oh, we're coming to Calvert.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. That is it, because not only does it bring extra people into the community to promote Calvert City,
Mhm.
but it is something that all the kids in our own community
Mhm.
can take a lot of pride and use. I mean, I can't imagine as a kid growing up, not have, I mean, whether you had a great family life or whatever, but you had the ability to, within walking distance, a couple nights a week or a couple nights, walk down and see a Christmas classic movie or hear this or see that or that and pick up that could really make the difference.
You know, that would be really nice if we could set up and do, I know it's getting cold at this point in time, but if we could do a couple of Christmas movies
Yeah, yeah,
down there, like we do and used to do in the summertime,
sure.
do a couple of Christmas movies in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different things I think that are possible, but that would create a
Yes, we have to
situation
have
where,
Bonfires. We'll have to have some, oh, come on. You bundle up. Golly, don't be a wimp.
I'm kind
Come
of cold.
on, you get out there
thinking about
and
it. It's making
roam
me cold.
around
I've been
in
to
the
those.
fields.
Been to those.
I think you could put one up during that parade night that's just kind of off to the side. Did we do that? Was that there this year?
Did you go down there this
If
year?
it was
Where
like,
is it?
The balloon glow and stuff?
I was working.
can't remember. I feel like
Like
there
a-
was a movie down there. Maybe that was another.
And then
time.
there's the igloo.
I was there the
Yeah,
night
there's
the
the-
igloo,
there's the
that we
snow.
lost power. And it was like the toy from a Richard Pryor movie when I was a kid. The igloo just started.
Oh, no.
There were kids in there. Were you there that night? That's great.
I told Eli, I said, you're not going in there. You're not going in
We're
there.
like running around trying to find the power cord, get the power back on. I mean, the igloo's just.
It is so dark down there whenever the parade is over. Why is that?
It was, and then, so there's so many things to, it's neat, it's great, and we have
It
such a
is
good
so
base to work
dark.
with and to.
Those night events, I mean, I easily lose a kid.
But
I mean, I feel safe, they're running around,
Well,
I'll eventually find
When
you.
we had
but-
the movies down there, that was afraid of that too. We had the movies in the summertime down here. It was
Mhm.
always a fear. It's just the kid run off in the dark.
I mean, Blair was like, that's so-and-so's, his dad's a cop, and that other one, well, that one's a
if we-
teacher, and I'm.
you do have to have the
Okay,
dark
that's
backdrop, though. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, you
know.
can't show a movie with light.
Yeah.
It just
I mean,
doesn't work.
it's just, as a parent, you just kind of really have to watch. I mean.
If we were gonna do a Christmas movie in the winter, we could put the warmers out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
They help it
we
out.
Yeah.
figure the warming station / we can figure some
We could
things.
get a sauna.
They,
Do you wanna hit me yet?
hey, I'm all for the sauna, cold plunge, let's go, let's
Your throat's hurting. Shh, be quiet.
cold plunge in the creek.
Opposite of polar plunge, we'll make it sauna on a.
Done one polar plunge, I'm done.
Just down there. Every
Did it
so
sober?
often there's
I've already
hot
done my
tubs.
polar plunge for my lifetime.
What's that?
Every so many feet, you have some hot tubs. For sure. I might come then.
Sorry.
I'm trying to get my husband to buy me a hot tub.
If you not have any luck,
Well, I did get a like kiddie pool one. It's not very good.
Cheaper to do the outside shower. That's the way to go.
I have an outdoor shower.
I love the outdoor shower.
Yeah,
I
I
think,
think so.
I think archways for the walking path would be. a
Cause you can
would
crank
be a
that
great
sucker
start.
up.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's
I think it's
fantastic.
a-
It'd be
I think
Just a
cold,
little bit
32
every year,
degrees.
Make
It's
it a little bit better every
fantastic.
year, because it's already so
I
good.
love it.
We don't need to like go back and. We don't need to do,
I'm not
like,
gonna
how to
continue this
recreate.
conversation until later.
Well.
Do your
I agree-
neighbors
I agree
complain?
with the arch thing.
No,
Isn't there
I
a-
get that, but it's tasteful and you know, if that were an issue, there's neat ways to, well, we can talk about it. It's the best thing ever, man. I love it.
We've
I'm
got
sorry.
an outdoor shower at the
We're still on
fountain.
Christmas.
Did you know that?
No,
Yeah, it's
Are we still
attached to
talking about
the
Christmas?
building on
I don't know, they're
the
talking about outdoor
south side of
showers.
the building when you come through the gate.
I was thinking,
You
like,
come
I
through
said,
right
we don't need a
there.
theme,
There's
but
a
what
button
about
you
It's a
push and there's a
Wonderful
shower
Life?
right
You know, we're.
I was thinking about
yeah,
that.
but you gotta have it where you crank that.
And then you
sucker
just
up.
play that kind of music.
I wish.
There's something degrees and.
People are longing for simpler times. You know,
Mhm.
I said we shouldn't do a theme, but then whenever I said that, I thought about It's a Wonderful Life. But I don't know that we're the theme people. Is Blair the theme person? Would she do this part?
Lions,
Most likely.
Lions Club.
Okay, Lions Club.
Of course, I'm a Scrooge fan too, so.
Turn to Christmas, I mean,
But maybe we don't.
I know, I
but
was a
just
member of the
maybe
Lions
that,
Club.
like, maybe that time.
But I
frame or
would not-
something.
I would let them still do their
I think the
thing.
theme would still
but
be.
I think you get I
I'm
think
not
you
just
get,
thinking about correlating with them. How do we work with them?
They sell hot dogs and
Right.
or provide hot dogs
I
in
mean,
a parade and we
you know,
take care of the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, Lions
Yeah.
Club provides the theme, but I mean, Calvert City would be its own complete.
And I loved
You know,
the music
entity.
playing.
Who?
The music that was playing.
Orchestra.
No, we had music playing.
just
Like
music all the time.
at the library, like there were speakers. I don't know who was playing. I was trying to figure out. We had Christmas music playing.
It's great.
But then it stopped before the parade, and I thought it would have been neat for it to keep going through the parade. Because it got really like,
Yeah.
Well, the parade this year was, well, the parade last year was Christmas music.
I mean, just think of
Yes.
Polar Express when they get there, the music's playing everywhere,
Yeah, absolutely. Look,
yeah.
even in the empty town.
Disney, without doing the Disney, without the characters, think the way to do things as far as
I think
immersive.
it's-
The parade was music. Christmas music.
It was? I didn't hear any music.
You didn't hear the chipmunks singing?
Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God, they were dancing and singing,
I
Bob.
remember thinking, it's eerily quiet. What is going on?
You did? Oh my gosh, I'm bringing it
Was
back.
every single one had music? Are you telling me that?
Yes, we played Chipmunks all the way down Fifth
You
Street.
did, but did every other, not
They
every
were
Every
supposed to, yes, because the theme last year was
Christmas music.
traditional Christmas music or.
That's why they stopped the music then.
That's
Okay. Cause I was like, why wouldn't they just keep that music playing? It's like dead silence out here. Okay, well, I missed that. I didn't talk to someone the entire.
Maybe they
time,
turned it
so-
off too soon.
I got-
Before he got to
listen,
you.
I have a good source for hearing aids.
My kids would say yes. I know.
My wife stays on me all the time. You need to wear them. I said, I can hear the people at work. It's you I can't hear. That didn't go out right.
That didn't go well. did it?
All right. Green
Oh my
Monster
gosh,
Field of
that's
Dreams.
hilarious.
I love the Green Monster. There's your,
back on
another
the-
mural.
It's back on the table.
What is the Green Monster? I cannot remember.
Fenway Park.
Fence for the.
It was just- yeah, it's something to-
Have here, the
Yeah.
Cap City, whatever.
It was,
Kitty League.
And we could just put a bunch of old junk John Deere's out and call it the Green Monster.
2025.
No, what would be cool is a wiffle ball version of the Green Monster. We have a little wiffle ball court. You have the Green Monster.
the agenda.
For this one, yeah,
Oh,
not-
Wouldn't that be
not
so
the one we
cool?
voted on.
They have-
Just- It's in there.
Yeah.
professional wiffle ball
On the
stuff. that-
number two.
Oh, okay.
I
I
dare you to
got
take
it.
the ball away and put it in. I dare you.
Oh, I'm not touching pickleball.
Yeah.
Be careful.
That ain't gonna happen. We're actually playing, they're playing the wiffle ball, when they do play, they're in just the outfield area of
Yeah.
our other fields.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're getting plenty of use. I mean, the usage at the park is growing you know, hands.
As soon as it
down.
warms up, they're at the ball, they're playing basketball.
Yeah, but I
By the
mean,
time it
people
warms
are
up.
walking all the time or
Yeah.
bicycling. I mean,
Yes,
you
it's
know.
so good.
You know, we're gonna add this other, once the roundabout goes in, they'll connect, have a final connection. Somewhere down the road, there's possibility that 641 may turn into a roundabout itself, where 641 and 62 connect, instead of it being an overpass, an underpass,
Mhm.
just changing that into a roundabout. And if that happens, then you don't have to worry about a tunnel, we can just walk across the street. Take that trail across the street and hook it up to the dam. Of
Oh,
course, I figure that will happen about the same time as the new lock is completed, so
Oh, really?
I'm not gonna hold my breath on
Well, we
that
have
one.
9 more years on that.
Is that all?
Since I've been
That's,
over here,
that's
it's
still
been
within our lifetime.
I think it's
isn't it?
9 years left.
I've been working on things. 35
how long's it
years,
been?
30 years. So,
It's-
I mean, I remember you used to watch it at Smokies, and it was like when I first moved.
At
here, it
least,
was like-
at least 20, yeah.
Hmm.
Hell,
It's
they've
been a
been
long
working
time.
on it for as long as I've been
Yeah, it's
here,
been forever.
How long have you been here?
21 years.
How long I've been married?
Huh?
That's how long I've been married.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's been a while.
I've watched a lot of children grow up and become adults.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every time I go that way, I think, man, I wish I could still drive across and see the lake.
It's been almost 21 years since I've been here.
Oh, but I love the.
I was only gonna be
walking
here
trail.
for 2 years. and go
I
back to
do, I like the
Nashville.
walking
Yeah.
trail, but
We stayed.
when you can drive
And
across,
that
you can
was
see it all the time.
Crazy.
Good place.
It must be. Yeah, I'd say for
It
sure.
is. It's a
I
good
mean,
place.
Been good enough for us.
Alright. Well, then.
What else we have?
We'll plan on budget workshops at our next council, at our next park board in April. So plan on staying for a little while and us feet, okay?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
spring break for me, so I won't be there.
Oh, no. that is spring break.
Not
Can we
either.
reschedule for like the next?
Well, no, let's see here.
Was it?
No, no, it's not. No, it's
No,
not. It's the
that's- yeah,
second week this
that's-
year.
That's right.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you're right.
It's the second
Yeah,
week.
that's right. What week is it?
So,
Second
The
week of
seventh
April.
will be the first
The 7th.
seventh, so
seventh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Monday before is like the 30th.
You're gone that day.
so are we looking at the 31st or looking at the 7th?
7th.
Okay, we'll
Seventh
still be
week.
here then.
Yeah.
Okay,
My
yeah,
spring break's the week before, so.
yeah, we're still, it's all good.
Okay, that
Doing
works for
Ski
me
Big
too.
Three.
All right,
So I'm
so
out.
what, so we're looking, at-
Usually we're not though. Usually.
So everybody is
Sunshine
available
Lake
then, right?
Louise?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about David. Are you available the 7th?
No, sir. I'm in Canada.
Hey.
Yeah. If they let me in.
More like if they let you back
Yeah.
in.
Passport even.
I've got.
Getting
my
out's
passport.
not
You
a
don't need
problem,
passport.
getting back in is the problem.
I've got my passport. My
I thought that's what you're talking about.
No, I just figured with the wonderful tensions we've got going.
That's why I say it's the first day.
Do they want to still try to do that or what, or do you want to, I mean, we can do that and not finalize until we get a special call.
Yeah, do whatever y'all are gonna do. If I'm the only one out, y'all got all you need, so.
Okay.
My input. on this-
I mean, we've been talking about input all along anyway. I mean, it's not like this is gonna be a immensely drawn out deal because we've already talked about some things. We just gotta look at some pricing. Or at least what I need out of that is get some direction of what's your priority.
Rank them kind of thing, yeah, rank the ones.
Rank them so we can actually get to where we need to be.
Or we can do it in May, I guess, whatever timeframe that council needs, I guess.
Very good.
We can do that now.
Mhm.
We should have another member by then.
I'll get some good ideas from my trip.
Mhm.
If you think
All
about
the
some of them,
Canadian
if you get some ahead of time, send it to us.
It's a bucket lister.
Yeah.
Spot location, so.
Where are you going?
The Chateau Fairmont Lake Louise.
On Calgary,
We're gonna stay in Banff for a couple nights too, and then go to Chateau.
Bam. It's the best word.
I want to go to Quebec so I can maybe use it in a foreign language. You ever been to Quebec?
No,
No?
not, that's the French you speak.
That's the French, yeah, that's the French, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, listen, the French and the Quebecs can't even talk to each other. Because the people in Quebec speak Old French. They didn't move along in their French like they did in France. So I know there was a lady that used to run with us at Fort Massac, that she was from France, and she was over here doing some research for a book, and we met some of the folks from Quebec who were actually doing the French, and they came down and I think she had more trouble communicating with them than we did,
Wow.
because she used to be,
Interesting.
you know, the
Yeah,
di-
local
well,
dialect.
no, it's just that the change in language. It's like we speak
Asian-
American, we don't speak English. Okay, so English evolved and went one direction, and we evolved and went another direction. You put us
Well-
together, sometimes we don't understand what the other's saying. Well, that's the same thing with Old French or ancient French in this, in
Even in America, we speak different languages.
State to state.
You go from New Orleans to
Oh,
Boston
Greek,
to,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Brad's family's from New Orleans. You're like,
it's different for sure.
All right, sir.
Motion to adjourn?
make a motion.
Aye. Meeting adjourned at 6:27 PM.
I don't know. We
You're kidding.
thought about it. We can put it